called Socializing with Steph, episode 1.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, man.
Okay, rolling.
Alright.
Alright, so
Hi.
hello everyone. I'm here with a friend of mine. Oh, darn it! Hang on. No, I'll edit it later.
Yeah.
So I'm here with a friend of mine from the comedy industry. Please welcome James.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I'm James. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Steph.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So just to start off, how do you actually started comedy and why comedy?
I started comedy back in 2017. So actually at that time, I was actually scrolling on Facebook and came across a pun competition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I had no experience in any comedy. So I thought, like, okay, why not give it a shot? And I think it was like April 2017. So that was my first time trying out, I guess, like what you would consider like stand-up comedy, even though it's mainly puns. And after about 2 minutes, which because most of the participants were only given like 2 minutes, so I felt like it was quite fun, yeah. And then from there, I actually got to find out about the local open mic scene. So there were these two comedians they invited while the judges were tabulating the results. So these comedians were Brian Tan and Prakash Daniel, who runs One Mic Stand, and they still do until now. And from there, I said, like, oh, Malaysia actually have local comedy scene, because up to that point, I probably thought of comedy is only like people like Harif Iskandar, Douglas Lim, even at that time Dr. Jason Leong. But I didn't know there was like a grassroots level comedy scene. So I went to check it out, and I thought like, oh, it was quite fun because you get various kinds of acts. Then about June 2017, there was a comedy writing workshop by British comedian Nick Coppin at that time when Crack House was still around, Crack House Comedy Club. I went there, and because I wanted to learn what does it take to be a comedian in terms of the writing aspect. And then from there, I said, I already watched a show, I already went for a workshop. The only thing left is to perform. And so on July 2017, specific date will be 18 July 2017, I made my stand-up debut at One Mic Stand. It was at Journal Space in section 16 PG. And I really enjoyed it. And in fact, a few days after that, I went for another open mic, which was under the Laughing Gas. So they had like a English-Chinese open mic. So that was the first time I actually brought my parents, even though most people were advised not to bring your parents along because it could go either way. And now it's been 8 years that I've been doing comedy, and I really enjoyed it. And of course, you ask why this art form. Well, I can't really play any musical instruments, and the thought of being a one-man show on stage and having that adrenaline rush, and of course, the main thing is seeing people having a good time, laughing is what get me going until now.
I see. So who inspired you to do comedy? Like let's say, some comedians say, Harif Iskandar is my inspiration, Douglas Lim is my inspiration.
Like locally, I would say like Douglas Lim. Yeah.
Of course.
Because he does both, like musical parodies, of course, especially like political commentary, kind of the if you know you know kind of thing. Internationally is Gabriel Iglesias, also known as Fluffy. Yeah. So of course I love his like voices imitation. But of course, even closer to the local scene, of course, Brian Tan. So he's the one that gave me my debut, but he also started off doing one-liners, which is also how I started off doing one-liners, and eventually he moved on to storytelling, and I'm in the midst of finding my own voice and doing a bit more storytelling and adding a bit more like musical comedy as well.
I see. Just want to know, what is pun jokes actually, and how is it different from standard stand-up comedy anyway?
Because most standard stand-up is more like I guess storytelling, observation, humor. Whereas for puns is literally a wordplay on the language, right? Not just the English language, but actually any language. Yeah. So of course, classic example like an internet classic would be, why is a bicycle exhausted? Because it's too tired. Yeah. So of course, most people, either they laugh or they groan. But of course, if you dig deeper to it, because another word for exhausted is too tired, and a bicycle has two tires. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and of course, I really love languages, and that's what got me intrigued into doing puns. Yeah.
I see. But then do you do only just puns, or like do you have other styles into it?
So of course, eventually I've added not just puns. I also do like observation humor. So I'm sharing my observations from my point of view. I also do some storytelling, and also I've done like some musical parodies. Yeah. So it's like changing the lyrics of the song into something different. Like for example, one of my parodies that I've done is a parody of the Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way. I change it to Chinese Food Is Life. So if you were to actually hear it, it actually sounds like a tribute to Uncle Roger.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to be there to hear it. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to know, how do you respond to jokes? How do you respond if like a joke doesn't work? Let's say you do a pun, or maybe like a small slapstick or something, and then people like, cute, huh? Or like, are you? Is it appropriate or something like that?
I mean, for like early on, is like even until now, like I'll just power through. But of course, when I listen back to the recording, then I'll probably like make some adjustments from there. Either I drop that particular joke, or I try to change in a different style, or maybe work on my delivery, because it's not just only on the writing, but sometimes how we deliver the joke. So sometimes like the writing is good, but then if the delivery falls short, then of course the joke is not executed well. So it's more like that's why we do open mic. So we try and experiment different styles, different methods, until we get enough laughter to know like, okay, this is solid material, then we'll continue to build from there.
I see. And just one more question to add. Let's say have you ever like, let's say people come up to you like, oh, the show is very funny, but your jokes sometimes like, I sometimes don't get it or something like that.
I mean, I can't expect everyone to get it. Like I always have this like 80-20 like principle. Is like, as long 20% of the audience gets it, and they are the 80% that matter. Because comedy is subjective. Like some people would like different styles. Some who like dark humor might not like very clean jokes, and vice versa. So it's hard to like really appeal to all. But of course, for me, if I can get 70 to 80% of the room laughing and they get the jokes, then for me that's what matters the most.
Okay, so to nearly wrap it up, any advice to those who wanted to try comedy? Let's say me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's come for a comedy show. Of course, you've been for a few comedy shows.
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's more like just to observe, see how they do it. Then you come up with your own like 3 minutes writing material. And the only way is to just to go on stage and try it and see if it works. Of course, yes, it can be a daunting experience, because you have to make an impression within like the first like 10 to 30 seconds. And of course, normally for first-timers, audience will normally tend to be a bit more kinder. But of course, as you decide to progress further, or if anyone decides to do this further, then they might not be like welcome, like, oh, please welcome the newbie on stage. Because normally some shows they say like, oh, we have a newbie tonight, be kind to this person, or put your hands together for a newcomer of the night. But once that newcomer tag is gone, then it's basically you yourself on stage. But of course, there are comedy workshops coming up. So in fact, I have a friend doing a comedy workshop next Sunday, or not this coming weekend, but probably the following weekend after that. Yeah.
Oh, Brian Tan's
Tan, yeah.
the
So
workshop.
he's doing a comedy writing workshop at Triptych next Sunday on the not 19th, 21st. Yeah, 21st at Triptych. So anyone who wants to learn how to write comedy, this is the perfect time. Yeah. It's only 30 ringgit, and it's worth the investment. Yeah.
I'll link it up in his in the comment section later. So now to wrap it up, since you've done your show straight out of SooBang.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a bit cliche for me. Say it.
SooBang, yeah.
Why SooBang?
So it's So it was inspired by this rap album called Straight Out of Compton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then of course the wordplay on SooBang, as in Subang Jaya, which is where I'm from, and Soo, which is my surname, my family name. And this show, which I did this year, my hour special, is mainly about bits and pieces of my life told in different formats, whether it's stand up or puns, observation, humor, storytelling, and also musical parodies. Yeah.
I see.
And in fact, this year I have done like 3 shows. Yeah. In fact, I wanted to do one, and then from one became 2, became 3. So it became sort of like a mini tour across the Klang Valley from KL, PJ, and of course the most recent show is in Subang Jaya. Haven't thought of plans next year, whether I would like to expand it further, but we shall see.
But have you ever, like, how do you say, all your predecessors before, have you planned to do it overseas as well? Like,
To do it overseas, of course, that would be a dream, but probably I might want to fine-tune the show to probably either update my materials and come up with materials that is more appealing for international audiences. Yeah, because like they might not get the Malaysian references.
like your predecessors before.
Yeah, but of course, it would be fun to go abroad to perform. But of course, that itself is a whole different story of logistics and having promoters to help promote the show, and of course, building a fan base.
Then what about let's say your new show next year? Plans to do it like besides KL, PJ, Subang, your hometown Subang? Any plans like maybe besides international? Maybe in not international. Like maybe like overseas.
Within Malaysia?
Yeah, within Malaysia, like Penang, Ipoh.
Because the other day, like one of the comedians from Penang actually came down, and she did ask me whether I'd like to do this show in Penang. So I thought like, yeah, it will probably be a good idea. So it's something in the works, and also maybe places like Ipoh and Johor.
Okay, so would you like to tell the audience about your any upcoming shows this coming weekend or something like that?
Of course, the next few shows will probably be next week. Yeah, next Wednesday at Triptych, which is Art Form Mashup, which is a mixed performance open mic. So you got music, stand-up comedy, poetry. Then on Friday, it's like a show produced by Spicy Dicey Comedy. So it's a comedy show with some dating elements to it, dating theme. So if you want to know more, come to the show. It's also at Triptych. And on Saturday, it's a Christmas themed show run by ALMS Productions together with Laughing Guests. So it's on the 20th of December, 8:30 p.m. in Deja Brew SS15. So ticket links will be somewhere in the bio.
I'll put it in the either description or in the comment section below.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.